Hello, welcome to. I can't hear anything. Sorry, this is John's mess.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how Spidey does it, man.
I have no idea. Well, hello again. I'm Renee Mendoza, joined by my homie John. I've been in a while.
Hello.
And another Renee. And as always the permanent co-host, TJ McCree from Milwaukee. What is up, TJ? Good sir. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
They call him Milwaukee McCree.
Mr. McCree.
Mr. McCree.
Alrighty, so we're going to talk about some Spider-Man. As you can see,
Which one?
The newest one.
Which newest one?
Far From Home.
Infinity War? Into the Spider-Verse or...
All three. Let's do all.
All three at once?
No, we're going to do Far From Home.
Okay. Oh, that one. I saw that movie.
Yeah? I saw it with you. Didn't I see it with you?
Yeah.
Did we hold hands in that movie?
Yes. The whole time.
That's cute.
The whole
Don't
time.
judge us.
No, I'm saying it's cute. I was giving you guys a compliment.
CJ, we're assuming since you're on this podcast that you also saw it.
Yeah, I did see it through osmosis, though.
So where do we begin?
All right, we'll start with a little bit. We'll start with the TV. With the.
Oh, a little teaser.
We have a little teaser. We have a clip. Can we roll that clip, please?
Roll the clip.
DDR2.
This
Yeah.
is Mr. Beck. He's from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
Awesome! Stark left these for you.
Hello, Peter. Would you like to see what I can do?
Whoa.
Initiating strike.
Initiating what now?
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Let's see how they look. You know I could blow you up right now?
Yeah, they'd still look terrible.
Oh.
Rated PG-13.
Alrighty, dude. Spider-Man 2. So, Renee, let's start with you.
Alright.
We don't talk that often.
Okay.
What did you think of the
Are
movie?
we going to jump right into
thought-
spoilers, or are we going to try to go...
I think we
Let's go.
should.
What do you think?
I don't care.
We're assuming if you're watching this.
If you're
Yeah.
watching this, the movie's been out for a month and it made
Right.
$1 billion. If you didn't see it, what the hell are you doing here?
What
Right.
the hell are you doing?
Besides my mom watching this, like.
But
who
thank
else?
you for watching.
Yes, my mom's
Don't
very happy.
turn them away at the door, Renee. Sorry.
But I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about it?
Oh, jeez. Just the fact that it's the aftermath after the blip. That was interesting. I like how they made it a thing. Like they called it a blip, and it gives you a window into what their life is like after the blip when people came back after Endgame. So I thought that was very interesting.
Okay.
I was
Mr. Humbles.
amused.
I was thinking about this, not even just on the drive over here, but after I had seen it, I was like, I feel like Marvel is continuously with some of these titles that they want to kind of build those next sagas going into stage 4 or phase 4. I feel like after Ragnarok and seeing what TT did with Thor, and I was like, what is it about this movie that's just really driving me nuts right now? And I realized that this is the closest thing we've gotten to a National Lampoon Marvel movie.
I have never thought of that. I have never thought of
it's
that.
like
How so?
I just thought of like it was like National Lampoon's Marvel Vacation.
Yeah.
Like
That-
Spidey
yes, that's
Vacation,
true.
you know, like he's
Yeah.
going across all these like iconic monuments and all these wacky things. Like when they find him in the room with the German lady while he's got his like it was so you know what I mean? Like all these, but like I feel like even through the gags, it's still there's a lot of heart though too. That I feel like even those original Lampoon movies, like ridiculous, stupid things would happen, but it was still a really great like watch. And I think after following Spider-Verse, I think they had a lot of expectations. How do you keep this fun? How do you keep it new? And I think that they did both. I think it was fun and new, and I think that they've kept his character like I'm really looking forward to Tom Holland's involvement in like the next 25 years that he's going to be playing iterations of this character.
You think he's gonna go that long?
I don't think it'll go that long, but you know what I'm saying. I feel like especially right after Endgame comes out, this is kind of like the next, like the first page of that next chapter, and you're like, what's it gonna look like? And I'm like, I feel hopeful, not just even with all the new releases of the titles, but just if this is kind of the consensus, I'm excited.
Okay, CJ, dude, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
What did you think, sir?
I mean, I liked it.
Because you told me you liked this more than Homecoming, so that surprised me. I'm like, explain.
Wait, what'd you say?
You told me you liked this more than Homecoming.
I do like it more than Homecoming. But you know, there were some issues that I had with Homecoming that I've talked with you about. That I didn't have so much with this movie. Not so much, you know. Like I liked Homecoming and I liked Tom Holland, but you know, I always bash Homecoming because it's a high school movie first and a Spider-Man movie second.
Okay.
And that's the thing is, I like it. I think it's good because of that, because it still makes it unique in a sea of Spider-Man movies, you know. But it kind of takes away from the Spider-Man-iness, I think, of it. I think this movie, it kept a lot of the high school, but it added a lot more Spider-Man-iness back into it. John said a lot of good things, so what I can add to it is something that not everybody thinks of is the costume. As a big Spider-Man fan, I don't always love the movie costume. I kind of loved his costumes in this one, not the stealth one. I mean, that was just kind of stupid, but I loved. I always liked the Homecoming costume. I think that one is really cool, and I like his newest one too, the red and black one, kind of reminiscent of Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's really sleek.
That's really
especially compared to Mysterio, who I think a lot of people were like not ready for the screen presence of. Like Spider-Man suits, like even like the night kind of one, the night monkey one, but that Mysterio.
Let's talk about Mysterio because
Mysterio looked great, man.
I'm surprised. So I'm a Spider-Man fan, like all of us here.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Mysterio, really? That's what you're going with?
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you bring that character in?
Right.
In the comic books, like even his costume is kind of like, we have an image of the comic book costume, like he's got a bowl and he's got this weird like stuff going on.
It's very hokey.
It is.
Yeah.
When you show that picture
it's like 1950s Batman.
It is
like Calendar Man.
Yeah, like that.
Like I'm fishbowl head.
Yeah, so that looks very hokey.
And I can't breathe.
But they made the costume work. But what I liked about it was that it was a hologram.
Yeah.
Right. No, I thought that was a really great take because, especially since what people expected of Mysterio,
right.
But I am nervous that, especially after we saw the loss of the Mandarin, seen as the Mandarin, you know, like if you remember Iron Man 3, all the time back they tried to introduce this Mandarin character, but he was a fake. He was just the shell for the other guy to work outside of, but like the Mandarin in the actual Iron Man lore, like he had the Infinity Stones, a couple of them at one point. Like he was a big deal, and I feel like they minimized that like fantasy kind of like mystical Doctor Strange stuff with him, and I feel like with Mysterio they kind of also, I feel like I think that's the only thing that makes me nervous is looking at the future of either new villains or new heroes, like them. Oh, it's all science. Like, we're fighting these great creatures that they're the element creatures. And you're like, this is all smoke and mirrors. I'm like, no, that's really cool. That's like I wasn't expecting that, right?
Yeah.
But it makes me nervous that that maybe that's the route that happens in some other. Because there are some pretty ridiculous things we have to see.
Yeah.
You know, like Adam Warlock in the next Guardians movie. How are they going to make that work? You know,
that is
like.
But they've proven. So here's something.
They make it work.
They
do.
I'm a Kevin Smith fan.
I'll say that.
I'm a Kevin Smith fan, and when he said Guardians of the Galaxy, what the frack are you guys thinking? I'm like, yeah. What are you guys? I'm like Mysterio. Like, the frack is wrong with you guys? But they made it work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like Mysterio is by far my lowest of
the Spidey villains.
My Spidey villains.
Oh really?
For me, I'm like, for me, it's Green Goblin and Doc Ock, and then everyone kind of falls down.
Yeah.
I'm like Mysterio, but I'm like, you guys made him work. What did you think about Mysterio or Jake Gyllenhaal?
I mean, I think what they did worked really well. Like as a Spider-Man fan, I knew, like we all expected him to be the villain, right? With his history.
Right.
But it's interesting how they played him out to be the good guy for those who may not be too familiar with the franchise, and then, whoa, big surprise, he's the villain after all. Like, I thought that was interesting how they did that for the people at home who weren't familiar with it. I thought that was interesting how they did that.
The double whammy. He's the villain, and it's also like it's not mysticism and magic.
It's all science, technology. It's people who worked for Stark before who are angry at him.
You hit a button that I wanted to come back to touch on that. I want to get CJ's opinion. Then we'll come back because that's you beat me to it. CJ, your thoughts on this live action Mysterio?
I liked it. I think one thing that's really interesting about Mysterio now, as well as the Vulture in the last one, is that they kind of are doing this very Spider-Man-y thing about having these villains kind of personally affect him. Not so much in Homecoming. It was just kind of a bit of a shocker, like, hey, it's Liz's dad. But in this one, like, he really kind of was developing a relationship with Quentin Beck, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Peter Parker was going through something. Quentin was helping him out of it, you know what I mean? And, like, he was being that replacement father figure that Peter so desperately needs, you know, in this time in his life. And I really like that aspect of the character. Like, he got close to him. And, like, Peter got to him, too. Like, not enough to make him change what he wanted to do. But, like, you know what I mean? They were friends of a sort. And Peter growing up, in a sense, because it was kind of a coming-of-age movie. But Peter growing up, in a sense, to realize, hey, look, you know what I mean? This dude, you know, I can't take everyone at their word. Like, but this dude, you know, I did like him. He was a good dude, but, like, I have to stop him or else he's going to harm the world. You know what I mean? Like, and taking up that great responsibility in that, like, he really didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? He just wanted to have a vacation. But, you know, in the end, you know, he kind of steps up and has to do it. I like that Mysterio brought that out of him. I liked the Mysterio character and the relationship.
No, that's a good point. I like how you brought the father figure, and it ties back to because if in the original, in the Homecoming, and even in Civil War, like it looked like he was looking to Tony Stark, to Iron Man, like that father figure that he lost. And then it seemed like when he passed away, if you have the Endgame, Iron Man dies, and then Quentin Beck kind of takes up that mantle of being the father figure, but it getting through because of Stark, kind of, right? But that's something you touched earlier, that he was an employee of Stark.
Yeah.
I think that bugs the hell out of me in these Spider-Man villains is that it's
they have to.
There's Stark's villains who he inherits. When in comic books, it's always personal or creation.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man. That's the one thing that really bugs me. I'm like, I wish it was more of a straight-on I hate Peter Parker, I hate Spider-Man than through osmosis kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, osmosis, I don't think it's the right word.
They're just trying to make everything connect in that sense.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Pick the most influential character like Tony Stark.
And that's what Tony Stark was. He was a big influencer.
But that's what bugs me. I'm like, it's still, even after his death,
the Maximoffs wanted him. Freaking what's his face? The Hans Gruber of Civil War. What is Zemo? Yeah, Zemo wants Stark. The freaking Thanos is like, I know you. You know, like everyone's like, grr, Tony Stark was a jerk. Let's go beat up this teenage kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't know. No, I do agree. I think the next whatever kind of installment looks like, I would hope that it kind of, at least for Peter's life, doesn't happen to be a girlfriend's dad or a disgruntled ex-employee, but like truly like a Doc Ock or like even like a Rhino or like a Shocker or something.
Which we saw a Shocker in Homecoming.
Yeah.
That's right. I keep forgetting about that. We also saw Prowler in Homecoming, played by Childish Gambino.
That's right.
Donald Glover.
Who was almost a Spider-Man, who was the influence for who was almost a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? I know what your thoughts are. I just wanted you to on the record because you and I feel we have the same feelings about this, but what do you think about?
Yeah, like as a Spider-Man fan, like I will always want Spider-Man to have his own villains, villains that he pissed off, you know what I mean? Like some villains that he created, because I think that personally makes for a more interesting Spider-Man tale anyway, or interesting hero tale to begin with, you know what I mean? Like, if you think back to the first Batman movie, I know you hated Renee, but whatever. But the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton, you know, when he lets Jack Nicholson go into the vat of chemicals, you know what I mean? He creates the Joker. That's instantly a more interesting connection between a hero and a villain than something where it's like
you're just in my way,
like what you guys were saying, like, oh, this is, you know, I'm pissed off at Tony Stark, but Peter Parker's got caught in the crosshairs because he inherited the glasses, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, and the same thing from the first one. Like, he's just some kid who's just getting wrapped up where he doesn't belong. He's essentially the Scooby-Doo gang. You know.
You were saying,
I thought it was interesting that one of the major plot devices, obviously, is this pair of glasses. And like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I just feel like so much revolved around these glasses, but I feel like Quentin Beck and his team had like already kind of manufactured everything the way that they had needed it to.
Yeah.
And like, even though Peter had the glasses, like he wasn't aware of anything that was going on. Like after, like I don't know. It was interesting to me that like you're telling me in the 5 years that Tony Stark had to build a fleet of these things that live in a satellite up in space, which didn't appear in Endgame for some reason. They weren't of use at that point. But that that I don't know. He's got the all-seeing Edith eyes, and he's like witnessing these events happen, and no time did the glasses ever. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like even for him, like I feel like a more believable point of him finding out the reason why these are drones is because he calls on some of the drones to help him. And then they get turned and become a part of the
machine.
And he'd be like, what the? And they start projecting and joining. He's like, what? And then like, instead of like her, oh, look at this piece of technology. It's 80 pounds. I'm going to put it in my knapsack and carry it down the street. Like, I don't know. I thought it was like stupid. I'm like,
was that supposed to be Zendaya?
Yes. That was I know. But all I'm saying is that, I don't know, I just feel like him having the glasses and then Quentin Beck's need to like have them, it felt weird since he was already able to do so much.
It was the weirdest MacGuffin ever.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I'm like...
couldn't they build their own drones since he already had the team that...
And they all had made those things already.
So so why... Okay. It's a weird MacGuffin.
It is. It was a good tie-in. Especially with the part from Civil War, you find out he had made the BARF program that allowed you to like emulate and project.
That was cool.
That was so dumb. The reason that he's mad at Tony Stark
because he named it BARF.
BARF. Oh, that gets my goat. He named my project BARF.
But sounds like something written by a teenager.
Power Rangers. Sorry, Pitching had to get it out.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I think that these movies probably could have stood to get away with some kind of those coy, because it's supposed to be a young adult film in a lot of ways.
Right. Yeah.
It's still a Marvel film, but I feel like
it's an all ages show.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I feel like they have to kind of struggle with like, how do we make Peter Parker appeal to a younger audience and an older audience at the same time? And sometimes you get this very middle of the road young person. It feels like, so.
Your thoughts?
Pass.
Pass? Okay. CJ.
What are my thoughts about what?
about the MacGuffin.
The glasses? I don't want to talk about the fucking glasses. Sorry, fracking.
Yeah.
They were just such a huge plot device. They were like the most important plot device in the whole movie. There's a pair of glasses that was just handed to him in a box.
Talk about the Peter Tingle.
Then the Peter Tingle.
All right, talk about the Peter Tingle, CJ. Go for it.
I mean, I was kidding, but
I
actually really like them referring to it as the Peter Tingle.
Did he ever say Spidey sense?
No.
Not yet.
That's great.
Here's one thing that I have an issue with the Peter Tingle, as they called it. The inconsistency. Because he had it in Civil War, he didn't have it in Homecoming, or Endgame, or Infinity War.
It's almost like
but he had it in this movie too. Like it
no,
works.
he's
because he didn't have it, or he didn't have it at all in Homecoming, or he didn't use it in Homecoming. Like when the Vulture's coming to attack him, when he's breaking like.
Maybe he's like developing his senses as he gets older.
But that makes no sense though. Like so it's I went to one of my favorite writers, Andy Weir. He was in the panel and said like, you gotta be consistent with your BS. Like you can't just tell me that like for Star Trek, if you have warp speed, you can't tell me it's gonna take. Tell me it's gonna take 6 months to get to Mars from Earth when you have warp speed. You gotta be consistent with your BS. They're not being consistent with Spider-Man's Peter Tingle. Like, when does it work? Why does it work? That's one thing that's kind of really pissing me off. I'm like, make up your mind. What do you?
Well, I mean, as you point out, they do have clear displays of it in like Civil War. I just feel like since he was kind of a background character in Infinity War and Endgame, I don't know. I'm trying to remember back to Homecoming. I feel like there were moments where he caught something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I do hear what you're saying, but I don't know. It's just kind of, it had to play into this because he was getting tricked with his eyes.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So.
You think that would kick in too? All right, before we move on to other subjects. The one thing that I did like, that made me laugh to no end, so hard, was when he was putting on, how do you suit? That's a little tighter on the web shooter. I'm like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, they went there.
I was like,
They said that. They said that.
Like that was something ad-lib.
Oh.
Oh my God! I'm like, that makes me make like a little bit more.
What about? I feel like it's building up to finding out, especially once. I mean, we've already talked spoilers to a great length.
Yeah.
But finding out that our boy Nick Fury
was a Skrull.
Yeah. And how long was he a Skrull?
Yeah, that is interesting as frack to me. Like, why?
So was he? Yeah, that. Oh gosh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Because now I'm thinking, I'm like, so was it Nick Fury that got Thanos?
Right, or was it the Skrull?
Yeah.
Because he would have also had contact with Captain Marvel, not just Fury, but the guy, the Skrull, who was stepping in as Fury. Did he take over after he was shot in Winter Soldier? Has that been the Skrull Fury since then?
Right.
And that other Fury's been up in space regenerating or something? You know what I mean? Like there's so many, I feel like that was like I walked away thinking more about that. And then I was like, wait, I just watched a movie where Mysterio fought all these elemental, like crazy natural demon things, and it turns out, wait, they were just a projection. Like I was so like watching like those big fights and like the elementals, they were so cool, and Earth 616, but since it's all a sham at the end, you know, I feel like that kind of always robs the audience of a little kind of wonder.
Yeah,
you hear
like
Earth 616.
The multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Like it made fans like hopeful, like, oh, they're connecting like
X-Men, potentially, Fantastic Four. Yeah. So I mean, I do think that was kind of a little bit of a bummer, but I think them kind of introducing this idea that like maybe this is just the tease towards Secret Invasion. You know, maybe while the good Skrull were there, here comes Super Skrulls.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Ooh!
So...
Oh my God, I just got a Peter tingle.
I just felt so how much time do we have left?
I think we have 5 minutes left, right? Or a little bit more?
So why don't we, closing thoughts, general consensus.
Yeah. Renee?
I liked the post-credit scene.
Okay.
Or not the post-credit scene, but, you know, the post-movie.
What about the reveal? I want to talk about the reveal.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was like, they're bringing back J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. I was like,
I applauded.
I want pictures of Spider-Man!
I was like, I was literally...
He's a menace to the city!
I'm like, oh my God, no one else can do this but him.
Seriously, though.
I was doing this, I did this to him.
He does that all the time in movies. They restrain him.
You have.
No, but it was really funny. It was funny because he doesn't have his hairpiece.
Which was awesome.
He was just bald J.K. Simmons. I thought that was so funny. Because I feel like for reprising that role, I was like, I think a lot of people were expecting the classic, the top cut hairpiece.
You have to differentiate it from.
I know, but I thought that makes
it. It's a multiverse, remember?
Right? Yeah. It makes you wonder how many other Sam Raimi. Like I was hoping Bruce Campbell would walk by. As like the paper man or something delivering newspapers.
So maybe
hey kid,
if they do another Spider-Verse movie, maybe they'll bring in live action Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. That's the rumor.
That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
Oh gosh. Spider-Verse 2, but live action.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor. But not even the other thing is like when Willie Mysterio died, but he made this video saying Spider-Man's Peter Parker. What the frack?
Especially since, wasn't it in Civil War that they ended up using Mysterio to convince everyone that Peter wasn't Spider-Man? Because they have to wipe everyone's minds. Don't they end up using Mysterio's powers to... Oh, no, sorry. They used Cerebro with Professor X. That's my bad. Yeah. Sorry. My bad.
Wrong franchise.
Wrong franchise. Yeah, but yeah, he spills the beans at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And it just cuts. I'm like...
How do you do that? CJ, your opinions and thoughts on those events?
I thought those were pretty cool. Like, it was originally in the theaters. I was like, what? But, like, when I thought about it for a sec, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, yeah, you know, it's like Spider-Man actually, like, he can't win. You know what I mean? Like, he can win the battle, but he loses the war. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, I get it. I respect that, actually. You know what I mean?
What about bringing J.K. Simmons back?
What about bringing J.K. Simmons back? No, I liked it, man. It was a good nod.
All right.
Yeah. It makes you wonder where it's going to go from there after that reveal. Like, I know I'm wondering, like, how that's going to
how they're going to play it out. Because the thing is, we won't be seeing another solo piece from him for a while.
Yeah.
And when's the next team up?
Because they announced Phase 4, and there's no Spider-Man in that. So maybe Phase 5?
That's a long time.
That's maybe 3 years from now?
But where else? What else is he going to be appearing in?
That's true.
I would imagine Multiverse of Madness.
Maybe Venom 2.
Maybe Venom 2. Hopefully Venom 2.
But a theory someone posed was like, well, they have Skrulls. They can have Spider-Man and a Skrull Peter Parker meet.
Oh,
so,
and he's like, yeah.
Like either the Skrull Peter Parker or Spider. Yeah. I'm like, you already have your. But I'm like, that's there you go.
Yeah, I like that. You just wrote their next movie. They're gonna watch this. And they're like, this guy figured it out.
Kevin Feige watching public access YouTube videos.
He's like, this guy's been feeding us all of our everything you like somehow prophesied comes to pass.
Like, what a coincidence.
We're not gonna pay this guy jack shit. Oh. Anyway.
I didn't say that. What?
So much time. We about wrapped here.
All right. Anything? Any final thoughts from anyone that wants to say anything before we?
I'm excited for the next round of movies. Yeah. I think if anything, these have been entertaining. I think they're great popcorn movies. They're fun for families. Like I love the fact that I can see this movie with a couple of my work friends in our late 20s, but then I will sit down and watch it with my little brother. You know what I mean? Like they're such fun movies, and the CGI is great, the acting, the people they choose. I was very pleased with this movie.
Props to the special effects, because there was a lot of great special effects.
The elemental fights were
those were awesome. I wish
and the Mysterio mind trick. Oh my god!
That mind scene. I wish we could have final scenes.
I wanted to live in that scene for a while. That scene was amazing. I want that to be half the film.
All right, your final thoughts?
I liked it. CJ? It was a good time.
I liked it.
You approved it? I thought it was amazing.
It got the CJ stamp of approval.
Alrighty, well that's the end of the episode. Thank you everyone. Just to let you guys know, our whole crew are in the control room as teenagers, directing.
And they did a great
adolescents, but there is hope.
There's hope in the future.
There's hope.
Kids are the future.
Onward and upwards. Till next time.
Yes,
thanks, buddy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Mike's still up. Mike's still up, yes.
Yes.
Katie did a good job directing.
She did a good job. I watched it. There was a lot of good camera cuts, a lot of great camera directions. We did. I believe we really did.
Good job.